Hey people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 50 of The Greatest Attorney Adventures. Last time, we learned that Susato is going to have to go back to Japan tomorrow, the next day, because basically her father is sick and she must support him. And we also learned the truth from Gina that basically McGilded pretty much rigged her testimony, and that basically she was tasked by him to basically drop off the coat, to basically pick up the coat, extend the warranty, do things like that. And now we're continuing. I lied in that big old courtroom. I told some corkers. The thing is, he said he would make it so we wouldn't live in the East End no more. He would eliminate the East End. He would call it McGilded End. That's what he threatened me with.
What a wicked man!
He knew everything what went on in the back slums. He knew we had no one to look after us, and we was all looking out for each other, getting by together. He was going to set up some Oliver Twist scenario.
So you mean Mr. McGilded would have,
in an heartbeat, he would have had the lot of us chased out of there if he wanted. And then where could we have gone, eh? Nowhere, that's where. So, I didn't have no choice. Thank you, Gina, for telling us everything. But I'm for it now, eh? Go on, admit, you must be livid. Well, you can make amends by doing me a simple favor. A favor? What? Sign the representation papers for tomorrow's trial. Eh? If you don't actually want me to represent you in court, you can rip it up later. But we need that paperwork or we can't investigate. The police won't let us. Investigate what? The scene of the incident last night. Mr. Sholmes was shot, you see. You what?
Harley's having a big operation right now, Ginny.
Is it bad? Is he gonna be alright? Sholmes is gonna be alright, right?
He better be alright or else Gracie's gonna die.
That's why I want to investigate, for Mr. Sholmes' sake as much as anything. Right. So what you're saying is, if I sign that bit of paper, everyone's happy. Is that it? Something like that. Miss Susato?
Yes, of course. I have the representation papers here.
I don't need no one to stick up for me, though. No lawyer or nothing.
Poor Ginny. She seems so lonely.
Gina's representation papers have been entered into the court record. Well, at least this should mean we can investigate the scene at Winterbanks now.
Yes, and perhaps we can come back to visit Ginny when we're done there.
I swear, though, I am just messing with my audio because really, for some reason, it just went bad again. I feel like we finally cracked Gina. She's opened up to us a little. And now I have her representation papers. No one else knows just what a responsibility that is. Anyways, for me now, it means Inspector Gregson can't stop us investigating at Winterbanks. Although, something tells me he's not going to be happy about it. Unless he better be happy about it, lest he wants Iris to break his kneecaps. She'll break it with the analytical machine. She'll break it with her bazooka. She won't even fire it. She'll just hit him in the kneecaps with it. She'll hit him with the barrel. 16th of April, 1:26 p.m. Winterbanks Pawnbrokery. Here we go again at the scene of the crime. Now to thrust these representation papers in Gregson's face to see what he makes of them. Hello again, Inspector. Do you have a minute, please? What is it now? You should go home and get some rest.
Here you are, Gracie. Here are the representation papers.
Your ladyship! Oh! I don't believe it! How the devil did you get that stubborn little ragamuffin beside him? I salute you! That's good work it is!
I can see you've been very busy as well. How about some tea? It's a special blend designed to relieve fatigue. 'Fatigue.
Ah, lovely. Well, let's see now. Yes. I hardly feel tired at all. Is this a video ship? Would it be alright if we investigate the scene of the crime then? Do as you please. You know where it happened. That door on the counter. Yes, the storeroom. That's where I discovered Mr. Winterbank and Gina. Right, well, I'll be getting back to business then. Will you be investigating in the storeroom as well, Inspector? If I'm perfectly honest, we need to wrap this up before long. Can't afford to spend more time on it. But there are so many articles to go through, it's taking forever, even with the lads working around the clock. Which is a problem, because there's another case at the yard that needs to be investigated urgently. That seems to be what Lord Shara meant by far more serious matters before. So what I'm saying is, don't get under my feet, sunshine!
Come then, let's not waste any time.
Examine the shop, examine everything today.
That's a music box. You have them in your room, Bruno.
Yes, but I've never seen one as large as this in Japan.
Oh, well, this will be a treat. Shall we have a listen? What do you think? Isn't it a pretty sound?
It's a beautiful sound, yes, but it's a little hard to enjoy when all these policemen in the room are giving you fierce looks.
Never mind that. If any of them say anything, I'll tell Gracie to have a word. I'll have to tell Gracie that I'll be visiting their homes with a blowtorch.
Iris Wilson, Superintendent of Scotland Yard. Iris Wilson, she controls the police. Freaking move over, Mr. Nimbus. There's someone else who controls the police in town.
He shows out where the pawnbroker puts articles that have been forfeited on display for customers to buy.
Yes, it's really strange miscellany, isn't it? I mean, who would buy this horse statue, for example?
Well, sometimes you can find some real treasures amongst the junk, you know. Are you alright, Bruno?
Oh, it's just, well, it looks like a collection of useless junk as a whole. But when you pick out individual things, you can't help wishing you own them, even that horse statue.
That's exactly how the pawnbroker works. They're very clever.
The shovel versus the spade. There's the article here and Mr. Winterbank's notes. And what's this? It looks as though someone has left a little photographic print behind.
Oh, look at the back. There's some writing. Is there? Oh, show me, Susie. Show us.
15th of February, 10:30 p.m. Article deposit, one gentleman's overcoat. Loan amount paid, £1. Redemption deadline, 15th of April, 10:30 p.m. A gentleman's overcoat pawned for £1. Clearly, it was a very fine coat, in fact. I think.
Yes, this was the ticket for the overcoat that Ginny redeemed yesterday.
And it is still wearing, which belonged to McGilded. I would never have expected the redemption ticket to be handwritten on the back of a photograph, though.
It seems that the Winterbank just used whatever piece of paper he happens to have on hand.
Well, this photograph of a cat. It looks very familiar, doesn't it? I'm sure I've seen this exact picture somewhere else recently.
Oh, yes, you're right. Very recently. It's the same as the one Ginny gave us earlier.
Of course. I was forgetting that she gave us that print.
Well, what are you waiting for, Mr. Naruto? Get it out!
All right. Let the cogs turn.
Yes, they're exactly the same.
Actually, I think the one on the left is tilting its head slightly to the right, whereas the one on the right is looking dead center.
Hee, I got it. These two photographs hide an amazing secret.
A secret? What does she mean?
You must tell us, Iris, at once. Hee, do you really want to know?
Yes, we need to tell you. We need you to tell us how you know about this pair of photographs. So, Iris, about these two photographic prints. The one we found here on Mr. Winterbank's counter and the one Gina gave us before. What is the amazing secret you mentioned that's tying between these two identical prints?
Actually, that's not quite right.
Sorry?
If you look carefully, the two prints aren't the same.
I told you about the head tilt.
Not exactly.
They're not?
Have another look at them now. Can't you see that they're just slightly different from each other?
I think so. It's very subtle, though.
But what's the reason for the subtle difference between the two prints? Ah, well, it's because they're sets, you see.
No, I don't...
This pair of photographs is meant to be used as a stereoscope. Everyone in London is raving about them at the moment.
Ah, a stereoscope. Why do I feel as though I've heard that word before recently?
Oh, yes. That's what Mr. Sholmes showed us yesterday. You see, there it is, just over there.
Ah, yes, of course. That magical machine that makes pictures look almost real enough to touch.
Well, actually, it's quite possible to see the same depth in pictures even without one of those contraptions.
What? Really?
Do you know how a pair of flat photographic prints can appear to have any depth in the first place? No, I have no idea. Oh, wonderful. That'll be able to tell you.
She's over the moon. Bless her. Should we let her explain, though? We really need to carry on investigating the scene.
I, for one, simply have to know. Have you ever considered, Bruno, how our eyes see depth in the world around us?
Well, I just opened them, and it works.
But the reason it works is because we have two eyes.
2 eyes? Shocking.
If you try and close just one eye at a time, I think you'll see straight away what you see with your left eye and what you see with your right eye are ever so slightly different. You get a different view with each eye. Yes, the position of objects seems to shift slightly. Exactly, and your brain uses that shift to examine depth as it merges the two views into one. That's how we can sense depth in everything we see.
My brain really is amazing, isn't it? It does so much without even telling me.
Ah, I think I see. So the pair of photographs consists of a left eye view and a right eye view. Is that right? Oh, well done, Susie. You're so quick. Have a cookie.
So if you could persuade your brain to merge the two pictures together in your head, you'd be able to see depth in these prints.
Yes, Bruno. You're beginning to understand.
And a stereoscope's function is to act as your brain and allow you to do just that.
Yes, but as long as you have two images, two eyes, and one brain, you can actually do it yourself without needing a stereoscope at all.
You can, really?
Let's try it. Let's see if you can view the pair of prints without the help of a stereoscope. Oh, yes. I'm dying to have a go.
Susato-san really loves this kind of thing.
You need to be able to cross your eyes. That's the main thing. Can you do both? Can you both do that?
Cross my eyes? I think I can.
Watch me and see if you can copy. I will mind meld.
Cursed Iris.
Make your eyes do this, and as I traumatize your nightmares. All right, let me try. Are you ready, Mr. Naruto?
I feel cursed. I feel this is cursed. So very, very cursed.
Wonderful. Now it's your turn, Bruno.
The trick is to concentrate on looking at the bridge of your nose with both of your eyes at the same time. Not exactly an easy task when two people are staring at you cross-eyed.
All right, let's have practice. Now let's try looking at the prints. Start by staring at one print and slowly crossing your eyes. You should see two overlapping images like this. You try it now, Bruno.
I'm just going to have to give it a try, I suppose.
print split in 2 images for you. Now the next step is to put the pair of prints side by side like this, and then try closing your eyes again. The prints are slowly merged together until they form a new single image in the center. Oh yes! Mr. Naruto, it works! I can see them in the middle now! It looks so real, I could look at it all day!
I wouldn't advise that. Your eyes might start to hurt.
Now your turn, Muno. Pretend you're looking at the 2 pictures and slowly close your eyes. Keep adjusting the position of your eyes until the 2 images overlap exactly in the middle.
Like this?
There, you managed it. So now you know a Stereoscope image works. Well, I don't know about who discovered it, but it really is quite extraordinary. So what do you think of these stereoscopic prints then, Runo?
They're certainly amazing, but is it easy to get the knack of viewing them properly?
No, some people find it easier than others. But that's why contraptions like this exist, for people who find it tricky. Oh, I recognize that. We saw one over there yesterday, didn't we? If I remember correctly, you press this little knob here. Then set a pair of photographs on the stand in the back end.
It's still amazing, even though I know roughly how it works now.
Well, London seems to agree with you. Stereoscopes are very popular at the moment. You can find one of these folding contraptions in lots of households in the capital currently.
But if these little machines are so affordable, surely there's no need to go around staring cross at pictures like you hate them.
But it's so much more satisfying to be able to see the effect with your own eyes. Well, I think so in any case.
Stereoscopic pictures. I'd never even heard of them until yesterday. We certainly learned a lot about them, but I wonder if it's knowledge I'll actually ever need. The second white cat photograph has been entered into the court record. Okay, search around, search around. Stereoscope. This is the episode of the Stereoscope. This is the strange contraption that lets you see pictures of things as if they're right in front of your eyes. It makes you think. When Mr. Sholmes gleefully showed it to us yesterday, we were blissfully unaware that any of this was about to happen. I'm fairly sure this contraption was here yesterday as well. Here we are, though I'm not confident I can get it closed again.
Oh, yes. That's a folding stereoscope.
Really? This is a stereoscope? Mr. Sholmes showed us a picture yesterday that you were supposed to be able to see in 3 dimensions. But for that, he used the great big contraption over there.
Oh, well, that's for use in public houses and places like that. It contains a carousel with all sorts of pictures inside. But this little thing is much simpler designed for use at home. There's a special shop selling prints that you can use in them. I have a little collection myself.
I wonder if I could make money out of these in Japan. It would be keeping my toilet sparkling clean anyways. Yes, and then this is where we learn that Ryunosuke was the one who started Phoenix's love of cleaning the toilets. But just meanwhile, Phoenix, he loves cleaning the toilets. That's his passion. Plants. The first ever Charlie. The original Apollo the cactus. Ah, look here.
Oh yes, a bullet hole, and I can see the bullet is still lodged in the wall.
Presumably, Mr. Winterbank wasn't practicing with his revolver in his spare time. That's because he's saving that one bullet for himself.
Ah, well,
Mr. Sholmes likes to practice in his drawing room whenever he can. He's very patriotic like that. Sorry?
It's all there in the Adventures of the Herlock Sholmes. You know? Isn't that right, Iris? Ah, tell me wrote something like that. Partly in jest, perhaps. In jest? Well, he doesn't do it often. It's quite a dangerous pastime.
He doesn't do it often. He shouldn't do it once.
Forgive that for now, Bruno. Let's examine this bullet.
What's around the bullet hole? Is it blood? A suspicious red stain on the calendar.
Aha! I may very well be able to help with that.
What?
That's something like the sound of blood. The blood pumping, is it, Bruno?
I have a feeling I'm not as bloody-minded as you, Iris.
I'm afraid the sight of blood makes my blood run cold. There you have it, you see? When it comes to blood, we're all different types.
Yes, what a scientific observation.
So you need this.
Oh no, what is that scary-looking thing?
Hardy and I haven't actually come up with a name for it yet. But as soon as you see it in action, you'll understand what it does. Watch!
The original luminol! The color of the bloodstain has changed!
There! Does it make sense now?
Yes, I think I'm starting to understand.
Good! It works on the principle that different people have different types of blood, you see? Yes! How wonderful! The chemical fires combined with the blood makes it change color. So you can identify whose blood it is you're looking at. In a flash. Oh, what a fabulous invention, Iris. Isn't it? I bet Ginny would say it's bleeding great.
So, whose blood are we looking at then?
Well, all the chemical does is turn the blood a different color, so... Just find someone whose blood turns the same color, and you'll know who it belongs to in a flash.
It's more like two flashes, really, isn't it?
One flash or two. This could very well turn out to be a very valuable clue. So we must take note of it in the court record.
The blood sample has been entered into the court record.
Let's keep testing and adding the results of any other blood analysis to the portfolio. As long as we have Regent left, sure.
Okay, check over here. That ledger that's open on the counter there really is enormous, isn't it? It must be an awful lot of work to keep track of all these hundreds of items then pawn.
It's too much to think about. Better to sell it all and have a clear head, if you ask me.
But clearly, Mr. Winterbank is very careful when it comes to the articles in his care. Let's head back.
Behind that door is the storeroom, isn't it? That's what Gracie said.
Yes, and that's where I saw the dreadful scene last night. Through that little window in the door. Mr. Winterbank, face down on the floor with Gina beside him.
As the accused's legal representative, you have the right to examine the scene, Mr. Naruto. We must make a thorough investigation.
Yes, of course. And we will. Behind that door, that's the real scene of the crime.
Don't worry, if there's any clues in there, I'll find them.
Let's move out. New location been added. 16th of April, Winterbank's storeroom. Poor Iris. She's clammed up completely.
Iris is bound to find this difficult. All her stuff is stored here. After all, Mr. Winterbank's life was taken in this very room only last night.
Oh! Wait, Inspector! What was it there, Sunshine? You took one look at me and tried to run away. You think a Scotland Yard inspector would run away from some jumped up defense lawyer, do you? I just will. Oh, I've never seen her ladyship looking like that before, is the thing. I don't want her writing bad about me, please. I don't want her taking another one of my toes. I didn't know what to say to her. So you were running away from so you weren't running away from me. You were running from a 10-year-old.
I'm afraid this is all a little too much for young Iris. Some gentle reassurance might go a long way, perhaps, Inspector.
I am. Don't trouble yourself unduly, your ladyship. I mean, at least you're not dead, are you?
But Holmesy's almost dead!
I can be Holmesy! I can be Sherlock Holmes, please! I'll be the great detective!
You don't have the charisma!
I can try, please! Just don't tie off my toes! I don't think that went very well. Why? Look, I'm in the middle of an investigation here, Sunshine, and I told you not to get into me feet.
And we have investigated you ourselves.
Yes. I'd like to hear more of what the socially inept inspector has to say.
How early?
And inquire into Mr. Sholmes' operation is going. Okay, first off, we'll talk to him, we'll do the conversation, and then we'll investigate in the next episode. The scene at the clinic. So, Inspector, what do you make of the crime scene here? Pshaw! You got eyes, haven't you? Use them! He's what looks like, nothing more, nothing less. Iris, could you lend me a hand?
Oh, Gregsy, what do you make of this crime scene here? Would you like your death to take place in somewhere similar? Would you like to join Mr. Windybank's party?
Oh, yes, your ladyship. To allow me to humbly explain. Last night, shortly after the hour of 1 o'clock in the morning, Scotland Yard police attended the scene. The one and only door to the storm was found locked from the inside. So it was locked from the inside.
The lock appears to be broken, though. Was that the police officers doing?
Quite right, ma'am. Quite right. We took delivery of smashing the door in as humbly as possible. So, as you can see, the victim was discovered Broad Street on the floor, bust-wise. And next to the aforementioned body, we discovered the vile gutter child.
Why you talk to her, Ginny? She's my friend, you know, Inspector. And don't you be insulting the gutter, lest you end up in there tomorrow morning.
Miss Lestrade, the hapless girl, was curled up on the floor, dead to the world. She's still alive, you know. Yes, when I saw her, she appeared to be unconscious. And I'm afraid to say she had the gun that was used in her hand.
No!
Presumably it's the gun that's still down there on the floor now. In her pocket, we found the key to the door as well. What? The key to the storeroom?
And you say the storeroom had been locked from the inside, Inspector?
Correct. All of which lays her ladyship's friend. In something of a sticky situation, I'm afraid. Obviously, my personal opinion is that all sorts of misunderstandings. Of course it is, Inspector. Of course it is. Holmes' operation.
Tracy, do you know anything about Hurley? Is the operation finished? Is Hurley alright? Is he? Is he gonna have a robot arm?
Well, and the thing is,
Don't miss your words, Inspector, please. You don't mean to say that Mr. Sholmes is...
No. The operation is dusted. It's just that, well...
Out with it, or I will take you down!
Yes, ma'am! Use something called a general anesthetic. It's the latest thing, which is the whole body insensitive. The whole body? Anesthetized? Is that even possible? It means the operation can be completed while the patient is fast asleep.
Goodness! In the Empire of Japan, we can just manage to provide laughing gas for a tooth extraction.
The trouble is, the latest thing isn't always the greatest thing, if you follow my meaning. They're going to get the medication to work at first, so it took hours for him to know off, so I hear. And now the op's finished, they can't get him to wake up, apparently.
Oh my!
No one knows if it's the anesthesia, in his system, or if the bloke's just plain exhausted. But anyways, all they can do is stand back and wait until he comes around again.
Henley!
The memory of his actual relationship, I swear I shall grant the word to you. What a surprise. Even in matters of life and death, Mr. Sholmes has to do things his way. Anyways, and speaking of doing things your way, marching to beat your own drum, like, I think that would be a good time to end things off. I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer, and I hope you come back for the next one. If you'd like to be a like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. With that, see you next time. Bye.